everybody, it's me, Barefoot Lass, and today we are going to make some waterproof fire starters, and they're just a little bit different. And remember, stay tuned to the very end because I have a wacky bonus tip that has to do with fire starters, and you're really gonna like it. Okay, here we go. Let's make some waterproof fire starters. Okay, this is what we're going to need. We're going to need wax. You can use old candle wax. You can use just about any kind of wax except gel wax. You can't use that. Okay, I'm using paraffin wax. And look, this must be old as dirt because it's only $1.98. That was like a real steal deal. Okay, so I'm going to use a block of that. And we need cotton, 100% cotton makeup pads. We're going to need petroleum jelly, otherwise known as Vaseline. We're going to need either a really old pot or I'm going to use a tin can to melt my Vaseline in. And we need to melt our wax. I'm going to melt that in the microwave. And so I'm going to just use a glass measuring cup. And we need either tongs or I'm going to use, I think I'm going to try these. They're like little, I don't know what they're called, but I think these will work. Or you could use real long tweezers. And I think that's about it. Oh, we got our pads. We got this. We got that. I think we're set. The first thing that I'm going to do is chop up my wax. I'm just going to use a knife and just chop it up so it'll melt faster. And I'm going to put the wax in my it's an old one, an old glass measuring cup. So that's ready. I really am going to make a large supply of these. I'm just going to use a small amount just to show you how to do it. Because it would take me forever. And this would be like the longest video ever if we went through each step like the way I'm going to do it. Anyway, okay, so that part's done. The next step is we're just going to take our Vaseline and put it either in an old pot or, like me, into a can. You know what? This is like a good tip. Save a few tin cans. Like clean them out, put them away, and save them. Because there's so many things that you can do with them. You just won't believe it. I'll be showing you more things to do in future videos. So we're going to put our Vaseline into the clean tin can. I don't know if you know it or not, but you can't melt Vaseline in the microwave. So I'm going to do the double boiler method. There's water steaming here, and I'm going to set my can in here. Turn it up a little bit. Now I suggest that you use a hot pad or something to get this out. You know what? It didn't even come to a boil. It didn't even come to a real simmer. And look, it's totally melted. Okay, on to the next step. I put down an old towel and I put down wax paper. And I have my little 100% cotton makeup pads here. And I also have the Vaseline on a hot pad. Okay, this is the way to do it. Dip it in. It's okay if only, if that part's dry. And just rub it against the can to get off the excess and set it down on your wax paper. And the reason we don't want to get it totally saturated is because it's almost like the cotton ball thing, the cotton ball fire starters. If you take them and you saturate them like too much with the Vaseline, they're actually hard to light. And what you have to do with those is, before you light them, you're supposed to tear them apart and kind of stick the bottom together and squish it, and then light the cotton that is a little bit dry. But if it's too saturated, it's really hard to light it. I know you think I'm nuts, but I'm telling you what, try it yourself. It's just like with the cotton ball thing. You don't want to get it totally saturated. So I'm just going to dip it in real fast. And I'm just going to get off the excess and drop it on to my wax paper. Okay, here's my first batch done. Now what we have to do is either let them set to dry. All right. See, they're still a little bit wet. Or you can put them in the freezer to get them a little bit solid. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do now. While we're waiting for our Vaseline to get stiff, let's put our wax into the microwave. Now we should do it in 30-second increments. Okay, this was about 3 minutes, and this is really hot. So I think this is really good because you can see my mistakes. Normally, I would use the little pellets, the little wax pellets, and they melt really quickly. But these are big chunks, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do the double boiler method because I think it's a lot safer. Okay, so everybody learn from my mistake. Seriously, learn from my mistake. If you have blocks of wax, okay, make sure you make them in small pieces, because I did mine in great big giant chunks, which was a really bad move. So it's about done now. If you did little small pieces or did those little wax pearls, it wouldn't take long at all in the microwave. But no, I had to use big giant chunkos. All right, if you know me and you've been watching my videos, you know I have to do something goofy and make it bougie. I'm going to put a little bit of coloring in here. You don't have to do this, especially you guys. You don't need to do this. This is like goofy, but it's just how I am. Just mix up the coloring. Of course, I picked green because it's a natural color. Put a little bit more in. That's just so there's a little bit of tint to it, so you know what it is. So now I'm going to go and check to see if the Vaseline is a little bit stiff, and we'll be right back. Last step. All right, we're just gonna take these and we're just gonna dip it in the wax. And we're gonna set it on our wax paper. It's pretty easy. Just dip it in. Check it out. They look awful pretty for fire starters. There we go. I'm going to finish these up, and then we're going to try them. Okay, check them out. They look pretty good. Now, a good way to store these is to use a snack bag. And they'll last like They'll last forever. And you can store them like this, or if you have one of those little round tins, it would be excellent. So now I'm going to show you how they're waterproof. I'm going to take one and put them in this glass of water. Stick it down in there. And now we're going to try to light it. Okay, to light these, you want to break them and get into the inside. Okay, let's do the wet one. Shake it off. And break it. And there we go. Waterproof fire starters. Okay, before the bonus tip, I have to tell you something really important because I made a mistake. Whenever you dip the cotton pads into the Vaseline, don't dip them all the way. It's just like I said before about doing the cotton balls. If you saturate them too much, they're really hard to light. So when you dip your cotton pads into the Vaseline, only dip them halfway. You want the Vaseline because it's an accelerant and it makes the fire burn longer. Look how long that this has been burning. So do it halfway, let it dry, then dip it into the wax. Okay, now before the bonus tip, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't, and ring that bell so you know about the next video that's coming up, which is part 2 of fire starters, and it's my absolute favorite fire starter. Okay, and please leave a comment and tell me what your favorite fire starters are. Okay, bonus tip. In a pinch, if you need a fire starter, Doritos. Doritos. Who would have thought? Doritos. All you gotta do is light it. They light pretty good. And then put it in your little fire where your little starter thing is. And they'll burn for like 2 minutes. I timed it. It's like 2 minutes. So it's a great little fire starter. It's doing it. It's burning. Okay, thanks everybody for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And please come back for the next episode. Okie dokie. See ya.